Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is January 7th, and we are talking about a success story from Roland from South Africa. So, he is a very busy person, and in this busy schedule, he was able to squeeze some time and get it for PMP. And he utilized well on the weekend classes, listened to that, very good in writing assignments, asking questions in the class, and he read well and get himself certified. Right. So first, congratulations from ShriLearning and team for this wonderful achievement because I know he came last 2 3 days. We were, man, I'm going to do this, and he done it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like kicking a goal in the last second of the match.
It is.
Okay, great, great. So once again, good wishes to you, Roland, for a great success. We'll be happy to hear from you before you go furthermore. So, which
Okay.
country and which city you are from?
I'm in South Africa. I stay in it's a suburb called Centurion. It's in Pretoria.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
so I know the popular side is Johannesburg. I think most people know
know that
Johannesburg. Yes,
exactly,
yes.
exactly.
So
So,
I'm in Pretoria, which is the capital
Victoria.
city of South Africa.
Okay.
Of South
So,
Africa.
what's special in your place? You are special.
Nah, everyone is special.
Everything special. Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything in a food, games, what they like?
The weather, well, currently it's summer, but it's a lot of it's raining. It's raining a lot now.
Ah, okay, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
we're having a lot
See,
of rains.
at least in India, people respect the South Africa team very much for cricket.
Oh, the cricket team. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In India, people like South Africa cricket team very much
Yes.
for their game, for their honesty. They like them
Mhm.
much, and even if
Yes.
India loses, they start watching South Africa matches.
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes.
So, what
I
do you think?
know a coach, Kestin from South Africa. He came to coach India. He was, yeah.
You won the World Cup.
Yes, he even won the World Cup.
Right. So there's a bond between South Africa and India.
Yes, it's a big one. It's a
Yeah.
big one.
Also, Mahatma is there.
Mahatma Gandhi was here. Yes, yes, yes.
Gandhi has a great connection between India and South Africa. So
Very much, yes.
like that. Great. Good to know that. And I know it's early morning for you. And
Yeah.
thanks for waking up early for us, coming up to talk
Mm.
about it. Meantime, I'll bring up your certificate in the sense
Okay.
you will see your certificate. There it goes. This is Roland, a senior program manager. Man,
Yes.
just one day before the last day of the PMP.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was because I missed my original date was the 22nd of December. Remember, I spoke to you.
Right,
I was so disappointed because the exam it just couldn't
right,
launch on that day. So
right, right. I remember you are so little frustrated, man. It's not
yes,
launching.
yes. Oh man, that was.
So I know this PMI has some trouble by the time. Not PMI. It's about
Mm,
Pearson Group.
yes,
The team which is conducting the exam, they have some trouble there.
mm,
So
yes.
I know they'll come back. So what is
Mm.
your role, Roland? What do you play as a senior project manager? What do you do there?
It's we're running projects. We call them last mile projects because
Ah,
we delivering internet access to business premises normally. Yeah.
oh, okay.
So so the project could be a fiber deployment or sometimes what we call it a microwave. Set a dish installation which puts the customer's internet access back to the Vodacom network and then back onto the internet for access.
Got you, got you.
So what I do, I manage the build part of the project. So the
Ah,
contractors, I'll appoint a contractor to come in and do the actual installation. We call it layer one. Layer one will be like the laying down of the fiber in the ground
understand. I
into
understand.
the customer's premises.
So you would be meeting the ground level resources who are working there and make it
Yes,
happen. Ah, it's
make
not
it happen.
easy. That
It's not
is,
easy. So, and it's an interface between I'll be talking to the client,
yeah, yeah.
and then also to the contractor who must go to the client's premises to do the actual installation. So
Oh
I'll
my
be
God.
coordinating between the client
Right. You should
and the
have great
contractor.
stakeholder management and communication.
Yeah, it's very key. It's very key. And also we're trying to make the customer always right, because
Yeah,
sometimes the delay is on their side, so you need to manage that as well.
true,
So
true, true. And
mm,
this work from home would have made you more busy now, as people want more internet and connection
very much.
capabilities. Ah,
Very much, yes, yes.
okay, okay.
I'm with the Vodacom Business.
Mm,
Vodacom is a company. It's part of Vodafone, the Vodafone group.
okay.
So, so it's a popular. It's a big company in South Africa, Vodacom.
Mm,
So it's got
mm,
a lot of clients, and then also what we've seen last year, especially last year,
mm,
with the lockdown. So more business, they want internet access, or even those who've got internet access already, they
mm.
want to increase the capacity. So there were a lot of
Understand,
orders coming through.
understand. Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting. So, how is project management industry in South Africa?
It's growing. It's growing because South Africa is a developing country.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of activity
very
in
good,
terms of
very good.
projects, in terms of infrastructure development projects as well. There's quite a lot.
Pretty good, pretty good.
So
So you
yeah.
you having PMP with you now, I think it adds some layer to you in your profession.
Yes, yes, very much so. Very much so. So that's
Fantastic.
why I wanted to complete it. The first time I joined PMI was
Uh-huh.
in 2015. This you keep postponing,
Wow,
postponing.
man, 5 years.
5 years. I still have the fifth edition book with me.
Then
So
PMP came in.
so it's those things, you keep like, this year I'm gonna do it. Becomes your New Year's resolution every year, every year.
God,
This year, 2016, I'm gonna do this. Then it gets to 17, 18, 9.
19.
It's 5, 6 years down the line, it's not complete.
Your son keep growing up.
Oh
Okay.
man, it's such a journey. That is why I joined you guys. I said, you know what, it's gonna give me the focus,
Yeah.
because if you do it on your own,
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
pretty challenging. It needs a lot of discipline.
True.
So I
True.
said, you know what, let me join you guys. Saw your videos on YouTube, so I said, you know what, let me join,
Okay.
and it's been a success.
Great. Good to know. It's
Yeah.
all your hard work because you have to put your time after your family, after your office
Yes.
work, right? You have to do that.
Mm,
All right. Good.
yeah.
Good. Good. I think this 2020, as people connected at home, they found
Mm,
little bandwidth of time for themselves. Um,
yes.
and right, I
Yes.
think that could have been a trigger for you. 2020, I should come.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's very good.
Mm.
So I know what's your son age now? What is he? How much he?
Am I my age?
Your kid, your son,
Oh, my age. The
son.
kids' ages.
Yeah.
My Yes, I've got two daughters.
Ah,
The
ah,
eldest one,
ah.
yeah. In South Africa, we say you are in trouble because the boys are gonna trouble you. Yeah. So I've got two daughters. The eldest one is 15 years old,
Wow.
and
Uh-huh.
then yeah, and then the young one is 10 years. So
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
it's a
Okay.
big gap as well.
Very good, very good. Because I used to see your little one coming in the class.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
That's well good. Fine. So how many hours you spend per day for preparation? How it worked out?
Uh, Roughly around 2 hours.
2 hours. Very good.
Especially when it was coming close to the exam. But starting out, I got into the habit of learning the processes.
Uh-huh.
So because it was still during work, so I would take an hour. I would wake up an hour before and then start preparing, get my drill going on the processes. And also, I would also try to get in on the tools and techniques
Uh-huh.
on the not all of them, because it's quite a long list. So I'll try
Mhm.
to identify those processes which are quite frequent in the exam, you know.
Got it.
So that, yeah,
Got it.
so but then the studying got more involved. I took more time as the exam came closer.
I know the pressure start mounting once you put the date.
Yes, 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 yes. That's the only commitment. If you put a date, then it
Right,
commits you, because
right,
it's
right.
easy. It's easy to say, I'll do it next year.
Yeah, yeah,
Then you study casually, you're not making much progress.
right. So
Mm.
how do you felt after completing? More relieved after completing the exam? You felt, oh man, it's over.
It's a huge relief. It's a huge relief. You know what happened when, as soon as I click submit,
Uh,
and I had a 1 minute left
uh,
because
uh.
I did some review, and then 1 minute left, and then I said, okay, you know what? Let me submit, and then, boo! Congratulations come through. I got so excited.
God, man, your heartbeat should have been heavy.
It was heavy. I got so excited. The exam is not finished. You know, I should also
Yeah,
click next. And I forgot I was celebrating. And
yeah.
then the proctor, she typed something like,
Cool
uh,
down, cool down.
cool down, cool down. The exam is not finished. I'm like, what do you mean it's not finished? Because the congratulations means to
Yeah,
me
yeah,
it's complete. You know.
yeah.
And then she said, no, you need to. And then I even stood up, you know, I even stood up. I was celebrating. She says to me, you need to sit down. The exam is not finished. and then she said, no, you need to complete. And then I clicked next, those final stages. And then you wanna take the survey. Oh man.
Okay. Okay. So how do your family supported you?
Oh, this family has been
Mm.
very supportive, you know, because the wife would even wake me up, you know, so your alarm is going, because sometimes you set the alarm when the time to wake up, you don't feel like it, you know, but the
Okay.
wife would like, hey, come on,
Go
go
ahead.
for it. It's a final push.
That's
It's a
nice.
final push, go for it.
That's
And
nice.
then the daughters, you know, girls are so sweet, you know, they would come through and come, Daddy, you can do it.
That's nice. That's nice.
And then, because for me,
Hmm.
also, it was not the first time, you know, because it was my third attempt, actually, this one.
Oh, oh, you
Yeah,
went
you
back.
know what I did in the first one I wrote in August.
Oh, okay.
But when I did the first one, I was a bit cocky. I said, "Nah, nah, nah, it's an exam. I'll pass this thing." You know.
Oh, you didn't prepare. You just like that went with the
Uh,
gut feel. Went with the gut
yeah,
feel. I
no,
could
no.
do it.
Yes, yes. I said, "Nah, nah, nah. You know what? I went through it. I said, nah, I'll do this thing. It's easy."
It's okay.
Oh, and then
Yeah.
I couldn't even finish. You know.
Oh, how many questions you
I,
attended by the time?
no, that time, the first time, I didn't even attempt the exam question as such.
Oh, oh.
I used the Rita book. I just answered the chapter questions at the end of every chapter knowledge
You
area.
didn't take guidance of anybody. You just went on.
No, no, no. I just said no. No, it's an exam, so I should I should pass it. So that was the first
Then
time
you realized PMI is not that guy.
I realized then that I came in. I said, you know what? I've done my MBA. You know,
Oh, okay.
I've passed my MBA. I look at what at the contents, you know.
Um,
I don't need exam question type of thing scenario, you know. I was a bit cocky, you know. And then I went in there, it kicked me. I couldn't even finish.
oh, man.
So second time, and then immediately, because and then I read somewhere they said, you know what, after failing the exam, you shouldn't stay for too long. You must
Uh-huh. Try
try
again.
to reattempt. Yeah, you must reattempt it.
You paid again.
I paid again.
God, man.
But this time I finished, but it was a fail. I was like, okay, no,
God,
there's something
God.
wrong here. There's
I think,
something wrong I'm doing here. Uh,
mm,
then that is when I joined you guys. I said, you know what, this is now beyond me now. It needs support.
no, it touches our slight ego and prestigious.
It was ego. Because now I'm looking back, I'm thinking now, as I
Uh,
was gonna take the third attempt, I was looking back. I said, you know what, I was too arrogant on the first attempt. There was no way. I was nowhere close to actually even sit for the exam. And then even the second time, I was not. Because I didn't.
prepared.
The
Yeah.
key is the exam questions. You really need to take the exam questions.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Prepcast was very helpful.
Perfectly. Yeah. We had to digest the
So the
concepts.
Yes. So
Mhm.
so the third time around, when I was gonna attempt the third time around, I had a bit of fear as well now, because
Oh,
now my
man.
daughter's like, daddy's gonna fail the third time. It's a bit embarrassing as well now today.
Oh.
I said to myself, I have to pass now. It's a must. I have to pass. So the preparation was very
Yeah,
thorough. I
you
had
did
to
a
go
good
through
job. You
it.
did a good job.
Yes.
On top of that, the proctor doesn't boot up for you on the day. It would have
Yes, yes.
trusted a little more.
Yes. And actually, on the exam date, that was another frustration. The online proctor, it's a bit of a, it's got challenges.
Yeah.
Because on the exam date, there
Mhm.
was, I waited for an hour for the
Mhm.
exam to
Mhm.
start.
Mhm.
I logged in on time. I could see myself on the camera. I was just basically, it was like I was sitting in the exam room waiting for them to come
Yeah,
through.
yeah. I think Pearson is not ready to handle the load which happened in the
Yes.
last 10 days of the year. They're not ready for it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
with confusion happened, some of them frustrated, some of them lost the exam because of that. Got it.
Yes,
Got it.
yes, yes, yes,
Anyway, the end result was good for you, so we should be happy for you.
yes. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Super. So I can sense the joy there. So how do you connect it when you came to the classes? The work, what you do, the learning, what you
Yes.
took in the classes, was it connecting the subjects?
Yes, it was. It was very it was very practical. It was more like implementation of the type of work that I'm doing, because as I was saying to you earlier, especially stakeholder management,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
an industry in telecommunications,
Yeah.
where you're dealing with a client
Mm, mm,
who wants a service today. They order a link from Vodacom, and then they want it installed today or tomorrow, which is
yeah.
not possible.
Yeah.
So you need to have a way of managing your stakeholders.
Right. Right.
Yes. And then you also have, you, on the one hand, you're using contractors. These are people who go to the actual client premises, and
Mm,
then they find that the client, even though
mm,
the client is rushing to have the service ready,
mm,
delivered, they want internet access,
mm.
but their premises are not ready,
Right.
for the deployment of the infrastructure. So you need to have stakeholder management to be able to deal with the client,
Mm,
who's wants the service
mm.
today, and also to be able to deal with the contractor who can't. He's giving you a practical condition. He says, I won't be able to deliver this thing today
Right.
because the site is not ready. So you need to manage that. So you need to go back to the client and say, how do you bring bad news to your stakeholders?
Wow.
You need to manage that. So it's very practical
Mm,
and
mm.
relevant.
Understand. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand the pain there. I also believe that much of a risk management would have been applicable for you
Yes.
because the scenarios and situations can change based on the
Correct.
material availability, people availability, natural
Yes.
calamities, right? Lot would
Yes.
have happened. So
Yes.
you should be
Yes.
balancing risk,
Yes,
stakeholder.
yes.
Um,
Especially risk. Risk is a key component of it,
yeah,
because
yeah.
sometimes you plan up this way, that this is how we're gonna do it.
Goes other
But
side.
it goes the other way, when it gets to the situation on site, it's not
Uh-huh.
as you planned,
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you need to manage those risks. So
Seriously,
stakeholder
seriously.
management and risk, they're very key
Wow, wow,
in our
wow.
industry.
Great, great. I think those questions in exam would have been easy for you as you have come across this situation in real life.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
But you know what I've found? The tricky part on the exam
Uh-huh.
was situation. What I've also done, what I've also seen with the practice questions was the to understand the exam content outline. Those tasks, to say in planning, in initiating, these are the tasks.
Right.
So you need to also, in closing, these are the tasks that you need to understand in
Right.
closing a project,
Okay.
because in the exam there were questions in closing where they would bring a situation and say, what would you do first?
Mm,
Those type of questions where they would say, what would you do
mm,
first in
mm,
closing a project?
mm.
You would you archive the project documents
Yeah.
or before releasing the team,
Uh-huh.
so you
Uh-huh.
still need the team to archive those documents, to
Okay.
assist you to compile, to finalize your lessons learned before
Right.
you can release the team. So you also need to understand those those exam outline content tasks, the way they structure them. It also very help it
Got
helps very
you.
much.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got you. Got you. I know
yeah.
it's the PMI is slightly different in the sense they blend a couple of knowledge into one question.
Yes,
They'll bring
yes,
stakeholder, they'll add a risk on that and include
yes,
something on resource management. A
yes,
question will have mix of all these three,
yes,
right? So
mm,
you don't know where they are targeting.
yes, yes, yes. So you need to, when you approach a question, you need to have an open mind to say,
Exactly.
you need to have an
Exactly.
open mind that this is going to risk, but it's got elements of stakeholder
Yeah.
management. It's
Yeah.
got so you need to you need to be fully. It helps though also to know the processes as well.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of the basic things to know
Yes.
the flow of the processes, but you also need to have an open mind
Correct.
uh, to know that even though it's a risk issue that they are bringing up, it's got
Mhm.
also elements of stakeholder management.
Possible. Possible. Well possible.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's why I used to tell in the classes. This is about the leadership program. It is not
Yes.
at the base level. It is little advanced level where you
Yes.
have to think like a leader. A leader is a
Yes.
person thinks multiple direction.
Yes.
Will not think
Very
and
much.
narrow. Thinks in multiple direction. If I move a coin here, what will happen there? Like a chessboard. You make a
Yes.
one move will reflect 3 to 5 moves. So
Yes.
that is about the leadership thought, and that's why PMI
Yes.
makes the exam pretty tougher. Okay.
Yeah. It is tricky.
Tricky, tricky. So how is your writing habits? Do you write and process sheets?
Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. I used to write. It's just I couldn't keep up with the posting on the chat group, So, but I used to practice every day. I
So,
used to
so, so,
practice.
so what does your daughter say when you keep writing there, like an assignment?
No, they understood, that daddy this time. They understood that daddy he wants it this time. He wants to do it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So
See,
the process. Oh man, those I have done them so many times. I even prepared some sheets. I
ooh.
and then I would come in and
Keep writing.
just them. Yeah, keep writing almost every day.
Great. So you are an
Mm.
inspiration at your home.
Yes, yes, yes.
Good to know. Great to know. So, if you want to tell some inputs to people who are working like in your cadre of senior post and who
Yes.
want to prepare for this kind of exam in 2021, because 2021 is going a little more tougher for PMP. It's not going to be
Yes.
same like before. So,
Mm.
what will be your do's and don'ts and tips you want to share?
Uh, you know, on my side, I still believe that maybe you need to get through, it's either you read the PM book, you still need to read the content, because I've seen some people saying they didn't even read the PM book, they didn't read Rita, some people just did the exam questions on Prepcast. But in my opinion, I think it gives you confidence to go through the material. You need to go through the material, read the material. But it's very key that you do the exams. Practice questions are very key,
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah, because they're very key, because it's the exam, as you were saying, it's not just about the the, the the exam, it's all around. It's about leadership. So it's not just about what you're gonna get in the book. So if you read the book only, as I did in my first attempt, I just read Rita's book and then I tried the exam. I couldn't pass because I didn't have a rounded knowledge of project management. So the exam questions, if you practice the exam questions, it gives you a rounded overview of PMI. So it gives you a 360 degrees of leadership, because you need to get in. You're not gonna. What I've seen with the PMP exam is you are faced with the situation, the exam questions basically. You are faced with the situation. You need to come up with a solution based on your experience. That's what the exam is giving you. So you need to be all rounded. You need to be a leader, because you as a leader, you need to make a decision based on the situation at hand. So the situation at hand might not just be related to cost. It might have instances of risk and things like that. So you need to come up with an all-round approach to
I
questions.
like the words in what you said. 360 degree is very important. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Also, I observed one thing what you said. Some people are going reading only the questions to exam.
Yes.
I too heard it, but not with our students at least. But you can clear the exam by
Yes.
practicing only questions. The problem
Yes.
is you did not get that leadership thought.
Correct.
You may have a
Correct.
certificate with you. Now,
Yes.
based on
Yes.
the certificate, if I give you a project, you may not know how this to be implemented, understanding the essence of the concept.
Yes.
And
Very much.
exam clearing is not the only thing of PMP. You start
Correct.
living like a leader. You start
Yes. Yes.
behaving, the character, the attitude, the way
Yeah.
you talk, the
Yeah.
way you walk, everything changes. Okay.
Correct.
So
Yes. Yeah.
for that, you have to read the content, digest it. You have to
Yes. Yes.
feel that I'm part of that program and do it. So that's pretty important. Super.
Very much so. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. That is also what you said in when we were still doing the classes, that the PMI exam, it's not just also only about the book. You need to so it also helps to have different sources. If you can read PM book, if you can get Rita, because sometimes Rita can sometimes explain
Mm.
a concept for
Mm.
you, that will make more sense than what
Yeah,
they explain in the PM book. you know
true.
but for me, on my side, I found the PM book, it's so very rich. The knowledge in PM book,
It's
it's
it's a it's a book for any time. Uh,
yes.
you have to keep this book in your library, and
Yes.
whenever you feel that, hey, what happens in resource in such a situation, what to do? There is a
Yes.
conflict happening. How to handle it? You can
Yes.
open it and see a couple of pages.
Mhm.
Even though you don't get the answer there, but you'll get
Yes.
some keys to think. Your brain will get nutrition for that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is very important.
Mm.
Fantastic. Great. Great hearing from you, Roland. Yes. So give some idea how this will be implemented in your day-to-day life there. Do you feel that's going to be applicable on a daily life going forward?
Yes. 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 Very much so. What I've seen is, with this exam, with the approach of the exam, with the lead, especially the leadership component of the PMP exam, is that it gives you the situations given in the exam,
Uh-huh.
the questions, they give you an opportunity to think, you
Mm,
know to use your it's an application
Yeah.
course, this one, because
Yes.
it gives you an opportunity to apply, to
Yes.
think across the knowledge areas, and then pick whatever is relevant to the situation at hand. So it's very much relevant even
Perfect.
in daily life. It's
Yep.
very much relevant.
Perfect. Great. So your corporate people should have been happy with you, looking you with the PMP.
Yes, yes. Yeah, 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 I hope so.
That's nice. That's nice. Great, Roland. Thanks a lot. I want to give you a special thanks for coming up here to give some
Mhm.
valuable inputs. And
Yes.
also, we learned a new name from your country, the place where you are from.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Pretoria Centurion. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I will Google and see those places by pictures. Whenever
Yeah.
somebody says I'm from this place, I try to see the place. How is it? How does it look
Mm,
like?
mm. Yeah, also, on my side, also thanks to Rahul. Oh man, he's such an administrator, his support was very awesome,
Great.
because I remember when I hopped onto your website to try to
Mhm.
get in more information on your program, he was there, he was available, he was giving the support and advising when the next session is starting and things like that. It was very
That's nice.
much
That's nice. Yeah.
supportive. Yes.
We need a strong support and service to help
Mm,
in this forum because
yes.
this forum mostly are experienced people. And
Yes.
even though they have experience, sometimes the guidance is needed for them to
Mm,
get to the
mm,
exam. So that is the reason
yes.
we do that stuff. Yep. Thanks for first of all trusting us and attending all the sessions and
Yes.
listening to what we say to follow. So it is
Mm.
good from you. Even though you have information and knowledge, you didn't tell that, hey guys, I know everything. You said,
No,
okay.
no, no.
You
I
said,
was
okay.
willing to learn. The one thing about me is I'm always willing. I was sitting attentively in the classes because even though I had attempted the exam,
Yeah.
but in all the knowledge area sessions that we
Mhm.
did,
Mhm.
I've learned something new, because I even though I'd gone through Rita, everything, that's the vast knowledge of the PM book,
Right.
because even today, if I can go back to integration,
Uh-huh.
I can probably pick up something
Yes.
new. That's how
Yes.
broad it is. So in the sessions that I attended with you, I've learned something new every time.
Uh-huh.
It
Uh-huh.
was enlightening. So that is why I was sitting and listening attentively.
Now, I observed you, you'll be very attentive and you will be in all the classes. You never miss a class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Even though we are in different time zone, I found
Mm,
you being very disciplined of that area. I keep
yeah,
telling that the consistency and discipline will take you to different places.
indeed, indeed.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Roland, for coming up here and congratulations and good wishes. Let the
Yeah,
2021 be a rocking here, right?
yes. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Super. We'll catch up. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.